Good morning, Garrett here from Classical Rebellion, and here's your quote for today. If I create from the heart, nearly everything works. If from the head, almost nothing. Marc Chagall. Marc Chagall was one of the greatest artists of the 20th century. He lived to be almost 100 years old. What he has defined for us here is the difference between feeling it and thinking it. I know people love air quotes, that's why I use them. Usually what we think is a good idea for a creative endeavor ends up falling apart or coming off as what my kids would call a try-hard. No one likes a try-hard. We like authenticity. Creations that come from the heart might not be lasting masterpieces, but they are much more likely to be an authentic expression as opposed to an idea. Ideas are clever, creations of the heart tend to be true. When we create based on our feelings, there is an element of truth that is often missing from a thought-based project. What we think is true in the creative process often ends up being something less than true, if not an outright fallacy. What we feel to be true is often more compelling and more accurate than what we think to be true. We might look out every now and then and have a thought which lines up with our feelings, but Chagall is telling us that, for him, it's the other way around. I've often come across this phenomenon in my writing. When writing an article for publication, I often have to cover a topic which I think is true, but doesn't actually feel true. At that point, my writing becomes labored, I don't have any flow whatsoever, and I get very frustrated. Over the years, I've learned to give up on that type of a topic and go find another one which feels true to begin with, and then use my thoughts to verify the truth of it. Things that feel true do end up being false upon closer inspection. That can actually be a pretty common occurrence, and we have to be vigilant so that we avoid what's called confirmation bias. However, starting the creative process based on our feelings is much more efficient than trying to just think our way through a piece. Chagall isn't saying that we never use our heads in the creative process. It's rare to create from the heart from start to finish. I would say that the start and the finish do need to be from the heart. In between, we need to use our heads to shape, develop, and connect the themes our heart is providing. One way to think about it is that a piece that comes from the head can often be impressive, but it will almost never move our emotions. A piece that comes from the heart has the potential to both impress and move our emotions. When it comes to music and art, I would rather be moved than impressed every single time. The piece of music for this quote is Vocalise by Sergei Rachmaninoff. This is not an impressive piece of music, but it does come from the heart, and it also goes straight to the heart. The painting is The Fiddler by Marc Chagall. This is one of Chagall's most famous pieces. He created a second version roughly 10 years after this one, entitled Green Violinist. It is on display at the Guggenheim in New York City. The fiddler dominates the village in this painting, suggesting that music was the heart of the community. I hope you have a creative day. Start from the heart, develop it with your head, finish with the heart, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, thanks for staying all the way to the end. Please subscribe and turn on notifications. You can also visit our website, classicalrebellion.com. And remember, the number one thing you can do right this very moment to support classical music and the high arts is share your love of the art form with others.